Did you leave the sink full of dishes again? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities who used to be roommates.
Before either Danny or Michael had kind of made a name for themselves in the film or television business, you lived together in a flat in New York City. Now that must have been fun, crazy times.
Well, yeah.
For this list, we're focusing on celebrities who lived together before they found fame, and excluding celebs that roomed together while working on a movie. Number 10, Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek. When you look this much alike, you're probably going to be gunning for the same roles. And that's exactly how this pair met as young starlets trying to get their footing in LA. Salma was the first and only friend to Penelope when she touched down in Hollywood. For a couple of years, this duo of gorgeous Latinas was like peas in a pod, sharing rent, bills, and occasionally even a bed.
We were just debating the basic economic theories of wealth distribution.
They even made up a cute nickname for each other, huevos, meaning eggs, in reference to the fact that they were lazy since neither of them had babies yet. Aw, that's weird.
Always count your bullets. Señorita.
Number 9, Jonah Hill and Justin Long.
Schrader, what about you?
Well, B, I'm glad you asked, actually. Because since we're going to prison, I'm going to learn how to carve a shank out of my toothbrush.
Jonah Hill built his career around the messy bro style we love him for, but you wouldn't think it would make him great roommate material.
Yes, of course I thought of that. That's like the first thing that came to my mind.
This celebrity duo had a lot of friction, with the pair fighting, as Justin describes it, like an old married couple, since Jonah apparently wouldn't pull his weight with the housework and left messes in the bathroom.
Last time I went to the bathroom, Jay, I took a shit and my shit looked like a f***ing stuffed animal.
Justin says Jonah also didn't quite grasp the concept of recycling, leaving banana peels and shards of glass in the recycling bin.
Have you guys ever tried to poop and brush your teeth at the same time? F***ing hard.
Luckily, the friendship was saved, and their careers took off when they parted ways and got their own places. Coincidence? Almost definitely.
You have a thong on?
Yeah, I'm wearing a thong.
Number 8, Dustin Hoffman and Robert Duvall.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
These two young and broke future stars had the great luck of making it to New York in the golden days, when rent was cheap and the creative scene was buzzing.
Frankly, you're beginning to smell. And for a stud in New York, that's a handicap.
They were part of a tight-knit group that included Gene Hackman, who introduced the two and set them up to get their own apartment.
He got a job working in a nut house, dressed in white, and he would come home from the asylum every night.
Dustin was broke at the time, but they managed to find an $80 a month apartment in Manhattan. Whoa. They entertained themselves by doing character impersonations of people on the street, but there were some even crazier antics. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Hoffman recalled a moment when he was showering with a date from the previous night, and Duvall jumped into the shower stark naked to introduce himself to the girl. Where's that movie?
Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk at all.
Number 7, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Oh, the quintessential Hollywood bromance. Their friendship goes all the way back to when they were 10 years old, living just a few blocks from each other.
What that guy doesn't know is that the girl cheated on him while she was away.
She did?
Twice. Nice.
They went to the same grade school, had the same drama teacher, and even moved in together when they made their big move to LA.
There, finished. Good Will Hunting by Matt Damon.
Hey, you think we could put both our names on that?
What? You've done nothing but eat briars and smoke pot for the last 6 months.
The time these two spent together as roommates was put to use writing Good Will Hunting, ultimately rewarding them both with their first Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
I mean, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. You're too much of a pussy to cash it in.
The pair has been inseparable ever since, living as neighbors for years after their big win.
What the hell is going on here? What is this?
Why are you touching me?
Well, I'm not touching you. Oh.
Number 6, Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito.
The thing about Michael is, he's very unassuming, really nice guy, and very sweet, but a babe magnet.
Yeah, good.
So anywhere you went, you could guarantee that
there was going to be a little buzz around them.
This is a particularly interesting pairing. On the one hand, you've got stout funny man DeVito. On the other, you've got a man who comes from a Hollywood dynasty.
I don't like losses, boy. Nothing ruins my day more than losses.
So how'd these two hook up as roomies? As the kickoff to what he calls his hippie days, Douglas changed his mind at the last minute before heading off to an Ivy League school.
Herbal crazy stuff?
Yeah, we were herbalists.
Yeah.
DeVito, on the other hand, was a graduate from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and was performing in a variety of plays when the two got an apartment together on New York's West 89th Street in 1968. As far as odd couples go, these two are odder than most.
Do I look cool now? Mr. Ice. Yeah, just breeze on through.
Number 5, Jude Law and Ewan McGregor.
For this you will need 1 room which you will not leave, soothing music, tomato soup 10 tins of, mushroom soup 8 tins of for consumption cold.
Much like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, Law and McGregor were fast friends. Their friendship started when a genius director gave them both $30 to go out and get drunk together to see if they'd get along. And the rest is history. Though they've been a little tight-lipped about the specifics, the 90s had to be a crazy time for them, as both of their careers took off. The two of them even co-founded a production company together called Natural Nylon. They've stayed close friends since, even through Ewan's Jedi period.
You must realize you are doomed.
Oh, I don't think so.
Number 4, Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson.
I'm not an outlaw. Stop! You're a bad guy. Look at that poster. What does that say?
Have you ever thought it was strange to see Owen Wilson in his trademark surfer dude style in the quirky films of Wes Anderson? Well, you shouldn't, because Wilson and Anderson were actually central figures in each other's success. In fact, the two met in a playwriting class while they were studying at the University of Texas at Austin. Owen Wilson co-wrote and starred in Anderson's directing debut Bottle Rocket, which also happened to be Wilson's acting debut.
Pointless act! You don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper! That's inappropriate!
Unfortunately, the movie bombed. But their following collaborations, Rushmore and The Royal Tenenbaums, were successes for each of the former roommates.
She's married, you know.
Yeah.
And she's your sister.
Adopted.
Number 3, Lindsay Lohan and Raven-Symone.
Do you want to have sex with him? No, thank you. Good. So it's settled.
After meeting on a photo shoot, these two former child stars decided to get a room, so to speak. Lindsay allegedly wasn't around much, as she was out partying a lot of the time.
Okay, that's this type of person. This is how I should feel about you.
With Raven estimating Lohan only visited the apartment 3 times. The two are still friends, with Raven even defending her former roommate on The View when the need arose.
Lindsay's not a pathetic case. Let me finish, Joy. She has had problems in her life, from family to work. People in the industry have problems too.
Lilo may not have been great at the whole hanging out and doing chores thing, but she at least paid her half of the rent, which sometimes is all you can ask for.
That's like a moment that I didn't want to have to deal with. And then, I mean, obviously, happens, life happens, but...
Number 2, Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve.
What the hell is that?
Easy, miss. I've got you.
The man who played Superman and the man who played Mrs. Doubtfire became fast friends at Juilliard, where they were roomed together for several years. Like many people on this list, their careers took off around the same time, and they both enjoyed resounding success until Christopher Reeve's rise to fame was cut short by a tragic horseback riding accident.
He does have some sensation in his chest that indicates that his spinal cord was not severed in his riding accident.
After an invasive and dangerous surgery to reattach his skull to his spine, Reeve was left completely paralyzed and suicidal. Williams was reportedly the first person to make Reeve laugh after the surgery, when he arrived dressed as a Russian doctor in a yellow lab coat, coming to give Reeve a rectal exam.
And for the first time since I crashed, I laughed. As I always do, as we all always do with Robin.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Come on, is it too much to ask my oldest friend to help me out? You already got the fairy tale marriage, man.
I'm the best man.
Number 1. Kiefer Sutherland and Robert Downey Jr.
Sir, I have a question to ask.
Yes, please.
Is it true you went 12 for 12 with last year's Maximum Cover models?
That is an excellent question. Yes and no. March and I had a scheduling conflict, but fortunately the Christmas cover was twins.
Before RDJ and Kiefer Sutherland's fame, they were notorious for being a couple of Hollywood bad boys.
Do you remember why we came to college?
Yeah, to have fun. Which I'm not having right now.
No.
Both actors had similar backgrounds, growing up with showbiz parents and moving around after their respective parents divorced.
Not bad, huh?
They ended up living together for 3 years, just after Kiefer made the move to La La Land and before they really cemented themselves as fixtures in Hollywood.
Driving like a maniac! Shit, why didn't you say something? You drive.
Given both actors' checkered pasts and run-ins with the law, one can only imagine what life was like at the Sutherland Downey homestead. But it was likely anything but boring.
Fun, huh?
Do you agree with our list? What other celeb living situation did you find the most surprising?
This is my gimp. Channing, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? Y'all cool?
For more roomy top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
The two of them made a pact as students that whoever made it first would always support the other one.